Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
The baby boomer generation is like a severe minority now. I mean, people don't really think about that, but that's true. Gen X, which I am, is a very small sliver. It always has been a small cohort. And so we're deeply into the millennial and Gen Z, and it's a different crowd. Those generations are just different for sure.
What are your thoughts on how to cultivate all the generations to get the best out of it and the best for them? You know what I mean? It's so different.
I think it begins with the recognition of being, if you are the leader of any organization, but certainly an organization of scale, you're going to have those generational cohorts represented. And if you're a baby boomer or a Gen Xer and you're pining to go back to those days because that's what you were comfortable in, get over it, because they're not, and you won't be successful. Your organization will not be successful sticking to those principles that are I think clearly super comfortable to me, and I think you probably remember kind of a lot of those ethos as well. It's kind of foreign to somewhat distasteful to a lot of the newer generation. So one, I think, is recognition. I mean, you just gotta let go, and because forming a whole organization of people that are baby boomers today would just not be a good idea, probably not even possible. And then, so I think acceptance, and then too, begin to understand the differences in these cohorts. And there are differences. And, I think very clearly, and you hear this a lot, this kind of banter between these generations around, well, that generation just doesn't work as hard as my generation. Well, first of all, I think that's an age-old situation. I think every generation feels that way about the last generation.
Yeah.
But secondly, I mean, I think that there is, more of a line in the sand today. And a lot of that, I think, has been driven by kind of what they've seen in their own parents, their own family units, and kind of the consequences of, people putting work 100% ahead of everything else. And I also think that technology and the way kids learn today, I mean, I know your kids that, he's a classmate with Con, our son, they just think differently.
Yeah.
Oh, I was, playing, simple math percentages with them, like, well, wait, what's 10% of this? And they kind of look at me like, who cares? I mean, what does it matter if you can calculate that in your head? They're capable of much more complex things.
That's Chinese blasphemy.
That's what I told them. What you can't figure out simple percentages? Yeah. What's wrong with you? Yeah. It's like, that's what we do.
Chinese blasphemy. We're always calculating.
It's so
what
crazy.
Did you graduate? All these things.
Yeah.
Doing the math.
But it's different. I mean, it is really different. And it's different, but not worse. And it's different and better in a lot of ways. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, these newer age cohorts are incredibly sophisticated around technology. I mean, they're digital they truly are digital natives. I mean, their ability to get things done at a rate of speed far faster than older people is really interesting and amazing.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.